The highly anticipated finale for the Pitt Season 2 is here. Episode 15. Did it deliver on everything it had been setting up all season long? Did our stories and arcs come to a satisfying conclusion? Let's talk about it. Full spoilers, you have been warned. I'll come right out of the gate and say this was not one of my favorite episodes of the season, not by a long shot. It's still a strong episode of TV, strong episode for the Pit, and even a strong finale. It's just kind of a little bit of an odd episode for a finale. I say that because the episode was so heavily focused on everything Robbie, and rightfully so. There's a lot of important things going on inside that discussion with his arc, but a lot of our other characters that we really want to see and spend time with and see how their stories wrap up in the season just kind of fell off and disappeared. But again, that doesn't mean it wasn't good, because everything with Robbie in the episode was very good. We finally had that moment that we've been wanting to see for a very long time, the emotional breakthrough, the realization, and it came through a couple of different conversations. He had 3 critical conversations in this episode, one with Abbott, one with Langdon, and one with Mohan, and they not only knocked a little sense into him, but they were probably conversations that needed to happen for years now. Those moments with Langdon and Mohan were fantastic. They both said something to him that obviously had an impact on him, but the scene with Abbott is arguably my favorite scene in the entire series. I really love when moments or conversations in TV shows and movies aren't just for the show or the movie, that they transfer over into real life and you can actually learn something from it, and that scene between Abbott and Robbie is literally a definition of that. Now, we obviously have to talk about everything Al-Hashimi, because my God, what a performance Sepideh Moafi is delivering for this show. But we did learn a lot about the character after that cliffhanger last week, like the fact that she hasn't had a seizure in 12 years, but she's had 2 during the shift, but has been cleared to work with medication as long as there is another attending. And that's where the problem lies, because Robbie completely disagrees, as I think we all expected him to. He doesn't think she's fit for duty. He doesn't agree with her being allowed to work. He doesn't agree with her being allowed to drive, and he's basically reporting her but making her do it herself. I can kind of see both sides. I can understand where Robbie is coming from in wanting to protect his people and his patients, even though it's not his ER, but I also agree with Al-Hashimi in calling him out and calling him self-centered and making all of these decisions based on himself. They're both right, they're both wrong. The only difference is Al-Hashimi has a little bit more clarity about the entire issue more than Robbie, and that's exactly what this scene was about. I hope they both start to work on some things and end up in a little bit of a better headspace the next time we see them, because I think the Pit could be a really strong workplace, better than it ever has been if they are working together on the same page. Moving on to a couple of the smaller moments, I thought this was a really great scene. And even though I wasn't really expecting that from Javadi, it does make sense with the character after everything we have learned from her this season. I also love this interaction between Mel and Langdon. I think out of all of the characters on the show, the duos, any of the relationships we have, these two get each other the most, and it clearly shows. And how could I end this without talking about this moment? Just a fun and great little post-credit scene. If you missed this, go back and watch this ASAP. Overall,